Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the channel. Peace, love, and positivity to you. My name is Sohum, and today I'll be reacting to the entirety of Madonna's album Erotica. We're going to be listening to the PA version today. And this is now my second time giving a full album reaction to Madonna. The first one, if you guys are interested in checking it out, was To Like a Prayer, which had so many iconic songs on it. It feels like that's almost an impossible album to top, but see, Madonna has a wealth of music in her discography, and much of it we still have yet to explore. So I'm super excited today to be checking out this album with you all and hearing potentially the different styles that Madonna will employ this run around. But before we jump into this one, a massive, massive thank you goes to Karsten for requesting the entirety of this album and, of course, for bringing more Madonna to the channel. Now, my friends, grab your drinks, grab your snacks, sit back, relax, and let's enjoy this album. And I guess one last thing before we get into it, I whipped up this little tier list here. It was co-opted off some existing one online I found. I changed a bit of the categories to be more fitting for my vibe. But we will, song by song, add them to this tier list and see where we land. Anyways, my friends, let's jump into it. And I suppose an important disclaimer, there are a handful of these songs I've heard before in different live performances. But the first time I'm hearing all of this in context, one after the other, and many songs are just completely new to me.
Erotica, romance, erotica, romance. My name is Dita. I'll be your mistress tonight. I'd like to put
I
you
think Dita
in
is
a
short for Amon Dita.
if I take you from behind, push myself into your mind when you least expect it, you try to reject it.
She's getting sensual right off the bat.
And I treat you like a child. Will you let yourself go wild? Let my mouth go where it wants to. Give it up, do as I say. Give it up and let me have my way.
Wow.
I hit you like a child. I'll give you love, I'll teach
She
you
is trying to impregnate your mind with this intro. And I could just envision the live performance, the dancing, all of her dancers like on her to the beat.
You can never be the same. There's a certain satisfaction in a little bit of pain. I can see you understand me. Tell that you're the same. If you're afraid we'll rise above. I only make the ones I love. Give it up, do as I say.
I love her seduction.
I'll give you love, I'll hit you like a truck. I'll give you love, I'll teach you how to.
Reminds me of Prince, who will often add like the moans in his music. A simple beat to this one, but really catchy. And definitely a tone setter for this record. Seems like we're going to be very sex forward on this one.
Erotica, romance. I'd like to put you in a trance. Erotica, romance. Put your hands all over my body.
Ooh.
I don't think you know what pain is.
Just a small note there, but the panning of those O's.
You've gone that way. I could bring you so much pleasure.
hear the doubling of her voice to create that harmony.
I know you want me.
It's almost like her alter ego speaking to you.
I'm not gonna hurt you. Just close your eyes. Just close your eyes. Put your hands all over my body.
This one is super catchy. Whoa, and you hear that kind of Middle Eastern influence in this.
Erotica, give it up. Romance. I like to put you in a trance.
I mean, that is what romance is, right?
Erotica, give it up.
The titillation, the mesmerizing, hypnotizing,
Like to do a different kind of
putting someone's mind, body, and spirit in a trance, all with this erotic allure.
I like to put you in a trance. Erotica, romance. Put your hands all over my body. Only the one that hurts you can make you feel better.
I think I have an idea of where I want to put this one. Let's see.
Only the one that inflicts the pain.
Either a super solid, like high B, low A. I think I'll give it a low A for now. Beautiful track. It really does set the tone for this album because right away she's trying to mommy you, tell you exactly what you need to be doing for her.
You give me fever.
This is almost like a funk beat.
Never know how much I love you. Never know how much I care.
Okay, now like instead of funk I think more house.
Put your arms around me. I get a fever that's so hard to bear. Listen to me, baby.
It's those syncopated little like blasts of noise that make me think funk. Wow, that is such an interesting melody. Definitely different from like pop Madonna. Really pretty melody there.
Bless my soul, I love you. Take this heart away. Take these arms I'll never use, and just believe in what my lips have to say. You give me fever. When you kiss me,
She'll never have to use her arms. That's crazy. I can't imagine a life without my arms. I want my arms, lips, I want it all. I'm kind of greedy like that. Oh, dude, that beat settles in when everything else falls away. I don't know if you're noticing, but like in addition to this beat just being so persistent and this kind of like melodic air that Madonna's providing, there is this like subtle, I want to call it like a more droning or monotone like bass pitch somewhere underneath, but it's almost been like ringed of its pitch just to create like this bassy kind of sound. Just listen for what I'm talking about here and then let me try to reframe that. Yeah, if you hear that bass underneath, it's almost like it has no pitch. in line with the rhythm, and somehow Madonna is the sole carrier of melody here. So like trying to identify the tonal center of this track is actually surprisingly even harder than figuring it out for Erotica, which was already not the most attainable. So I feel like, I mean, so far we're getting a lot of premium on the rhythm, on the seduction, on that air.
See, fever started long ago. You give me fever, fever. You gave me
Whoa.
fever,
I think that was a bit of trumpet.
you gave me fever. When you kiss me, fever.
Sounds like a xylophone. I have a feeling I'm going to be bobbing my head this entire time. Oops, I did not mean to close my Spotify. Apologies. Hopefully we get right back into the flow. Come on, load, please. I think we're back. Sort of. My thing is broken. There we go. Guys.
Daddy, oh, don't you dare. He gives me fever with his kisses, fever when he holds me tight. Fever, I'm his missus. Daddy, won't you treat it right? Fever, when you kiss.
Dude, this song is growing on me. Love the energy in this moment.
What a lovely way to burn. What a lovely way to burn. What a lovely way to burn.
Fever till you sizzle, what a lovely way to burn. I like that. Great hook, super catchy, and to me it almost began as a bit of a slow burn until I would say like the halfway to 60% point in this song. And at that point, it felt like in terms of vibe, it matched what we had with Erotica. And by the end, I feel like we almost exceeded that song energetically. And because it follows Erotica, we kind of carry that energy through. And they didn't miss a beat. I feel like the first two songs being paired this way, back to back, makes complete sense. To be honest, I think I may put Fever above Erotica, and I don't know if that's sacrilege here, but I love Fever. I'm gonna leave Erotica up here in the low A. There's a chance I bump it down to B later. We'll have to just see how this album shapes up. Let's keep going. Didn't mean to close my thing. Whenever I have to like switch between tabs, there's no easy way to click back to Spotify. Bye bye, baby. I'm not sure if I heard this one. I'm trying to remember. And hear that bass, right? It's lurching below, but the pitch for the bass is almost absent. I want to say another aspect of this album so far that I'm noticing is that a lot of her vocal delivery, rather than sung, it feels more so like spoken word. And with spoken word, you know, there's different levels to that thing. It's usually a mixture between speaking and singing. Somehow it feels like a restrained spoken word where we're still getting some pitch, but it's also not completely spoken. It's a weird like muting of both of those things because it's not entirely spoken, it's not entirely sung. Very heavy in this kind of house vibe. So I feel like so far the majority of my focus goes to the beat, if anything. Here's the seduction again.
Does it make you feel good to see me cry? I think it does. That's why it's time to say bye-bye. Bye-bye, baby, bye-bye. It's your turn to cry. That's why we have to say goodbye. So say goodbye. Bye-bye, baby, bye-bye. It's your turn to cry. That's why we have to say goodbye.
Wow. Don't want to keep the bright flame of your ego going. To love you is a sin. And the Adios, her love for Latin culture. I like that, the reminder that it's not a love song, because I think that was one of the first lyrics in this track. These songs are all about Madonna being in control.
That's why it's time to say goodbye. First time and the last time. You can forget about it, baby.
I mean, if anyone is going to lead you through,
Forget the fool.
talk you through it, it's going to be Madonna.
Forget my tears. You can forget about it, baby. Bye-bye, baby, bye-bye. You can forget about it, baby.
I think I know where this one's going. Super solid.
Last time you'll ever see me cry. You f***ed it up.
It almost feels like Bye Bye Baby is like an extension of Erotica and Fever. These songs are very well positioned. They just string together so cleanly. Okay, a lot more melody already shining through on this one. I feel like we've kind of shifted in the album now. I know it's only 25 seconds into this one, but I kind of know the way Madonna works. She likes to do things in batches. Mama was right. I like this melody. Definitely feel a little bit more upbeat energetically. In Love and War, right? That's the quote. Great piano chords underneath. Madonna version. Oh, cool section change here. Listen closely here. You may pick up on this. It's very subtle, but it's a similar chord progression in this section to what you hear in a James Bond theme song. That second chord, that third chord, then back to the fourth chord. That 2, 3, 4, those are the James Bond chords. This one is sinking and I like this one. With the strings too. Wow. That's a change. We've entered Latin world here. Hinted at it, I guess, earlier. And now the payoff is here, and it sounds awesome. Wow. That transition worked perfectly, because we got brought right back to where we were familiar with before. Without dropping a moment. Yeah, this song just gets better and better, I gotta say. This one is going in S tier. There you go. Well deserved. Great melodic layering here. Yeah, That song for me was my favorite so far. Super well structured, great melody. I love the dynamic growth from section to section and that twist to move into that Latin flair for seemingly just a moment, and we pull it right back to where we were familiar with. But there were still some elements that got introduced with that Latin section that persisted as we heard the last probably minute and a half or so. And those little things are immensely impressive to me and probably anyone, though they can be hard to notice because there's already so much happening in terms of the instrumentation. One thing that can be missed is when a new section is introduced, where does that take us? And then when we return, where does that leave us? And I think some of the best music out there, Deeper and Deeper included, they find a way to perfectly blend those unique sounds in a way that crafts something new. Now, I will say that blending that happened towards the end of Deeper and Deeper was still more more close to the original kind of like house danceable beat and that melody. The Latin flair maybe contributed to 15% of the last minute and a half, but it doesn't take away from it contributing just enough to be noticed. And just a great melody all around. And I do feel like at this moment in the album, it still extends the feeling from earlier. This sort of almost like quiet control that Madonna had in the first three tracks, but now is moving us more in a direction that feels more like an invitation rather than like a command. I hope you understand what I mean. Let's keep it going. This is where life begins. Oh, you guys want to see my heartbeat? I can turn that on. Give me a second. Warm inside. Madonna's trying to trying to get us all frisky.
Direct your attention to something that needs directing to.
Okay.
A lot of people talk about dining in and eating out. I guess that's what this song's about.
Dining it, I get it. Well, you know where that's gonna go.
This is not a dining room conversation. And you don't have to listen if you don't have the time. But let me remind you in case you don't already know. Dining out can happen down below.
Right.
Everybody's talking about wanting that and needing this. I just
It's important to be nourished. She is a siren.
How you want to eat it depends on how you feel. You can eat all you want and you don't get fat.
Right. That's how she stays in shape.
Where else can you go for a meal like that? It's not fair to be selfish and stingy.
I say be greedy. Eat as much as you want.
Every girl should
As often as you
experience eating out. Sometimes when I come home from a hard day at work, I swear it's all I can think about.
She is activating the horny.
Wanting that and needing this. I'd just like to know if you want to learn again.
And then I get the title of the song now. Where life begins. That's where you're dining.
Want you go down where it's warm inside. Go down
It's such a lovely place.
where I cannot hide. Go down
I can vouch couch. I will rate it 5 stars every time. We got a KFC bar. That is crazy. It really applies, yeah.
Let's put what you've learned to the test.
The question is she going to use I'm Lovin' It?
Can you make a fire without using wood? Are you still hungry?
Yeah.
Aren't you glad we came?
Glad we came.
I'm glad you brought your raincoat. I think it's beginning to rain.
Waterworks. Hey, you know what? The piano melody is pretty lovely. Like, I'm getting this like super noir vibe. Late night, raining outside, dark alley. There's a music video for this. Like, I could totally imagine what it would look like. I feel like these songs, like, as I hear them from the beginning, I'm like initially unsure, and then they settle in for me real nice. I like these little momentary blips of saxophone. And pay attention to this bass too. It has far more pitch than we've heard before. I like it. Super solid, and lo and behold, that's exactly what I named this category here. Super solid. I think it goes just a bit above Bye Bye Baby. I think it can't go into the A tier because I feel like Erotica is just too iconic. But it's like right there in terms of vibe because it just settles in nice. But Erotica up front just sets the tone, and Where Life Begins kind of furthers it. It doesn't beat out Erotica. But notice now, like, this is the 6th song. Songs 1 through 3 had less melody. Songs 4 through 6, right away, more melodically dense. It's interesting. You'd expect this chorus to be a little bit louder and more intense, just based on the movement, but this is a bit more reserved, like almost perfectly in line with the verse, energetically. This is one of the rare times where, at least in the first minute and 50 seconds here, where I'll say, I think I enjoy the verses a little bit more than the chorus on this one. Because normally, like, people write choruses to be the catchy hook that everybody, like, can remember and know and love. Verses often get the butt end of the stick. But here, I'm really digging the rhythm, the melody in these verses.
What happens now? I know I don't deserve you. I wonder how I'm ever gonna hurt you. Can't bring myself to let you go. I don't wanna cause you any pain, but I love you just the same, and you'll always be my baby. In my heart, I know we've come apart, and I don't know where to start. What can I do? I don't wanna feel blue. Bad girl,
Yeah, because like the complete quieting on I Don't Want to Feel Blue, you'd expect a massive hit on Bad Girl Drunk by Six, but it kind of just goes back to baseline.
this way. Bad girl, drunk by six.
It's a good chorus, but just a little bit too simple, I think.
Smoke too many cigarettes today. I'm not happy. I'm not happy this way.
Oh, that's pretty. Ah, the chimes. I was waiting for the chimes to come in. I was expecting it because these really bright synth sounds.
I don't want to cause you any pain, but I love you just the same, and you'll always be my baby. In my heart, I know we've come apart, and I don't know where to start. What can I do? I don't wanna feel blue. Bad girl, drunk
No.
by six, kissing someone.
So pretty much like each of the choruses, that verse pre-chorus structure into the chorus were virtually identical to each other. Not too much distinction between the three.
Kissing someone else's lips. Smoke too many cigarettes today. I'm not happy when I act this way. I'm not happy this way. Bad girl, drunk by six.
Oh, so we're getting an extended post-chorus here.
Smoke too many cigarettes today.
Some layering.
When I act this way. Bad girl, drunk by six. Kissing someone else's lips. Smoke too many cigarettes today. I'm not happy. I'm not happy this way. I'm not happy this way.
She doesn't want to be this person. She doesn't want to be in these positions where she's kind of going against her own ideas for how the night should go, for how her life should go. And, you know, we all make mistakes. We all have regrets. And the frustrating part about making mistakes is that, well, we make them and we have to suffer the consequences in order to learn from those mistakes. And oftentimes, of course, your emotional world can get rattled. And when it comes to like intimacy, especially with strangers, there is a lot of things that can go right and wrong. And to me, I feel like the best situations, if you are dealing with a stranger or someone who you've been in a long-term relationship with, is where the situation is, let's call it excited consent, right? You guys are both super into it. You're both down. I feel like if it's neutral, like, okay, like we could take it or leave it and you know each other, maybe it's okay. But if it's not like very obviously like on, let's do this, and it's with a stranger, that feels to me like, at least for me, I would rather just like completely avoid the situation and, wait for an opportunity that like is screaming from the hilltops, Sohum, take me, you want me, love me. So yeah, and that's where I kind of think about this lyrically. Like, yeah, she understands that like she is going through it and calling herself a bad girl in this regard. I don't think she's a bad girl, but she's not acting the way that she would ideally like to be. Um, and maybe that's a little bit too, let's say, she's too critical of herself. But yeah, it's also important to look in the mirror and just ask yourself, like, what is it that I want? Not what the world wants from me or what I think others would want in my position, but what would I want? Um, I bet you guys are curious where I'm going to rank this one. I think it is super solid. I don't know where it goes here. If it's before Where Life Begins or after Bye 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 Baby. I feel like maybe it's right there in the middle of these two. Can I do that? Okay, there we go. Where Life Begins, Bad Girl, Bye Bye Baby. One thing that I feel like if we had it in this song, I might bump it up to the top of Super Solid or maybe even the bottom of A, is if there were more dynamics across the choruses. Because I feel like this song had a lot of potential to go different directions. And we sort of got that in the final chorus, that kind of post-chorus section I was referring to. But I think this one just ended up being more repetitive because we didn't make those different leaps. So in a sense, this song could have been a bit shorter. But super solid all the same. Let's keep it going. Also, let me know if you guys like the tier list format. I was trying to think of a good way to brain dump all of my rankings onto y'all.
Well, I know from experience that if you have to ask for something more than once or twice,
Okay.
it wasn't yours in the first place.
Right.
And that's hard to accept when you love someone.
Mm-hmm.
And you're led to believe in their moment of need that they want what you want, but they don't.
It's the momentary manipulation or the positioning that makes it seem like that's for you. But really you're just being extracted from. Love the strings coming in there.
It was so easy in the beginning when you didn't feel like running from your feelings like you are now.
This is cool.
What happened? What do I remind you of? Your past, your dreams, or some part of yourself that you just
I like it when she
can't know?
speaks sensually and intimately.
I wish I could believe you. Or at least have the courage to leave you.
She doesn't want to feel blue anymore. I get it. It's a good melody. Oh, and I'm just noticing the kind of like whispering in this chorus. It's echoing the waiting part. I'm digging the background instrumentation in this a lot. I feel like it's contributing so much to this melodic feel. From the keys to the sax to the bass especially. Really dominating the lower range here. Very airy. Cool rhythm there. Lot of nice moments. Very eclectic track. You may say it's the most dynamic one so far. Up there with deeper and deeper. Certainly different from the beginning tracks. Was that a key change? Did we transpose? Yeah, at least a half note modulation. From the very beginning is crazy, by the way. She's still waiting on him. Break my heart, don't break my heart. She's in both camps. That's the struggle of a toxic relationship, is you want it, you don't want it. You want it, but you know you don't want it. We got the next lyrics.
And the next time you want pussy, just look in the mirror, baby.
There you go. There's the zinger. That's the zinger for you. I'm giving this a good one. Is it above Erotica? What do you guys think? I think melodically I like this one a bit better than Erotica. But like that's the thing, like Erotica to me feels like maybe the iconic song on this record just because we opened up with it. And like I want to give it the brownie points that it deserves because of its positioning and because of what it represents, but I also feel like I'm going to like re-listen to these songs in the order that I'm ranking them. I feel like Waiting goes here. It may go above Fever. I feel like that's a pretty tight race for me, but Waiting is a pretty good one. And definitely had me thinking about the lyrics as well. This idea that like you know this person is wrong for you, yet you continue to kind of explore that option and you wait on them. And like I get the appeal because, hey, people can change. But think about how difficult it is for you to make a change for yourself in your own life and then extend that to somebody else and have them behave in the exact way that you would like them to do for you. Like, unless you are already a master manipulator, I don't think that's on the cards. In fact, if we even have to have this discussion, it's likely that you aren't, or you're so good at what you do that you consume all of this knowledge anyways to improve your ability at manipulating others. It's a hard position to be in because when you are a very like love-driven person, somebody who is a hopeless romantic, you want to see the good in everybody. You want to remain optimistic. And unfortunately, sometimes that bias towards looking only for the good can omit seeing some of the very real red flags. And for me, like as an individual, you guys know that like I try to be as optimistic of a person as I can be in all of my framing, but in real life, I'm also a very practical person who analyzes the entire playing field, all of the pros, all of the cons, and sometimes the cons will weigh more negatively on me because of my sensitivities. But that said, like again, I positively reframe with all the positive reframes that you do, if the thing that you have to then, if the conclusion you kind of draw is that you need to wait for somebody else to improve, that isn't the ding, 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 10 out of 10 answer we were looking for. And exercise the patience you would like to, but please not at the cost of yourself, whatever that means for you. Beautiful song, though. Let's keep it going. Where are we at this point? I think the halfway point in the record. Ooh. That's a big beat. No one ever takes what's mine. My puny brain is not understanding that line right now. Like describing the friend who like is your friend, but really she's trying to just get with your boyfriend. I guess luckily I've never hung around with people who did this way and like tried to what do they call it, home break. I can imagine it's a very, very stressful situation. And I remember as a kid watching a lot of Jerry Springer, which, if you guys know Jerry Springer, that show is crazy and it involves so much home breaking. I'm glad to have never been part of that chaotic world. I like this section the most. Wow, the panning there is so interesting. I don't even know what sound that is. You're traveling across your headphones, right? I like that too. My thing is like, have all the sex you want, have all the partners you want, but just do it ethically. Try not to lie to people, you know? Don't ruin people's relationships. Let them break up first, man. There's also that logic like, oh, if I was able to steal your girl, then like she was never your girl to begin with, that kind of thing. Like, why are you going out of your way to do that?
Sorry. 'Cause what you've done is a crime. She's a deeper heart. Deeper heart. What she's done is a crime. She's a deeper heart. Deeper heart. No one ever thinks it's mine. She's a deep.
I'm really digging the rhythm in this though. I can't lie. It's super catchy.
Deeper heart. No one ever takes what's mine. You're a deeper heart, and now you have to pay. How many licks does it take? You're a deeper heart, and now you have to pay. Which leg do you want me to break? Stop, bitch. Now sit your ass down.
I almost feel like that song is like a perfect interlude for this point of the album. I don't know why I feel like that. That's just the thought that occurs to me. So I'm just going to trust subconscious Sohum and go with it. Ranking. Where are we going to go with that? Now I'm having fun with these rankings. Also, I'm very curious to know what you guys will rate in your top songs. If you have your soul level tracks, which ones are they? For Thief of Hearts, I don't know. It's not for me. I feel like I'm just not into the melody as much for this one. The rhythm definitely like has me, and I'm very interested by the lyrics. Like for me, I love to unpack the story and meaning in a lot of tracks. But I'm trying to think, do I prefer it here or there? It's kind of a close call for me. I can't say that it's, and like full disclosure, like I don't think any of these songs are bad for real. I just don't know if I would listen to this that much. Yeah, let's just put it in C for now and see again how the list shakes out as we go. Where are we at now? This song is titled Words. Oh, an intriguing intro. It almost felt cinematic, and now with the like the snake charmer timbre coming from the right headphone. Say like all of these songs are very closely tied to one another. A lot of thematic consistency. Unless they're true. Wow, that's a bar actually. I just like figured out exactly what it meant. It's like you always hear that like sticks and stones can break my bones, but words will never hurt me. Well, words can hurt us, but oftentimes the words people will use to hurt us and manipulate us are false ones. But we can still believe in false words because we have somehow internalized some issue that, you know, they say it to us externally and then we believe it to be true internally without even thinking consciously. And it can be far more damaging. But of course, actions speak louder than your words. So if anybody's ever telling you, hey, I'm doing all of these good things for you. Oh, I'm improving your life X, Y, and Z. But practically, what's changed? Do you actually have an improved relationship with that person? Has your life actually seen more sunshine because of them? And it's not like everything has to be transactional. Sometimes like you still wish well for somebody, but you don't have a tangible, practical way to help them. It's more in the situations of, oh, I didn't mean to hurt you, and they hurt you like 15 times more in the exact same way over and over. But no, this way was slightly different, and you know, you can extend as much leeway as you'd like to. It's all your own personal tolerance, but at a certain point, you can't really listen to what somebody says. You can only pay attention to what they do. And if what they do aligns with the things that you would like for them to do, seems like you're a good match for one another. Let's say you have thick enough skin that all of the words that you hear, true, false, negative, positive, whatever, they don't impact you. You still don't have to subject yourself to the negative words that are out there. If somebody in your close circle is constantly, let's say, riffing off of you and making jokes at your expense and really trying to like take stabs at you for real, just because you're able to tolerate it doesn't mean you should. And then there's this careful curation of your circle that ends up mattering a lot because you only have limited time in your day. Wouldn't you just want to replace that extremely negative source of energy with someone who actually cares for you? Just a straight swap. Make it easy. With your words. Wow. So she believes the story, which happens a lot. We've even discussed it in this record already. I've made my deliberation. Oh, that's cool. Oh, yeah. This is a great sequence. A lot of variability in the structure of this one. go. Wow, this is getting better for me. Click, clack, typewriter. The last sequence there, I think, bumps up words for me here. I love the concept of this song, and I love the discussion that she had at the end. This is something that I thought about a lot. This idea of complete alignment with your thoughts, with your, well, you can start at with your beliefs, with your thoughts, with your beliefs, with your words, with your actions. If you can align all of those things together, then you'll never need to lie. You'll never need to do anything other than just be yourself. And if you're an evolving, growing, learning, amazing, loving person, what wrong can you really do other than, oh, I was ignorant to something and now I've kind of learned and corrected what I didn't know before, and now I move on. We're constantly making mistakes, and that's okay. What's not okay is to delude ourselves into thinking that we're always right about something, or to misrepresent what it is we really feel to suffice anyone else, including ourselves. And that's where the delusion piece can come in. If we can actually just use our words not as weapons, not as defense, but just as a way to honor truth as a value, then I feel like as individuals we can live our lives with a little bit more integrity. This is why I've always made, not always, but in the modern version of Sohum, in the more enlightened version of Sohum, I have vowed never to lie. What's the point? I don't want to remember the house of cards, all of the lies stacked on top of each other, because, now do I have to remember, like, okay, I lied to this person about arriving at this location at that time, and I'm going to have to create an entire backstory, and X, Y, and Z. Why am I doing this to my words? Why am I doing this to myself? In order to lie to somebody else, you have to kind of lie to yourself or exist in this perpetual state of cognitive dissonance. It's untenable. There's no point. If you do it, you risk losing yourself. Why would you ever want to do that? And words, even though they can feel small, they are that expression of who we are on the inside. You don't want to feel one way internally and say another thing externally. Those constant moments of misalignment, they compound on one another year in, year out. And I'd say just cut your losses right now. Just start only telling the truth. Say what you mean what you say. And better yet, let your actions speak for themselves. Beautiful song. Oops. There we go. Wow, that's cool. been a minute since we've heard this song. I feel like this is one of the other like iconic songs on this record. God, that harmony. Think about rain symbolically, right? It's this cleansing. That's why so many shower scenes in movies, they immediately follow trauma, heartbreak, because you want to cleanse yourself of that. Cry in the rain, it's like the worst moment, that's rock bottom. I like the identity in this song too, by the way. All things considered, it's very warming and feels like it kind of sets itself apart from everything before. It's very self-aware. I just picked up on this part here, the rain being the love coming down, and that's doing the cleansing, that's washing away the pain. So it's like the toxic loves of before that I've kept on me, like wounds essentially, are being washed away by the outpouring of love that you've given me, washing away my sorrow. Granted, like I did know it was like washing away the sorrow. I just forgot that the mechanism was from this new source of love. Shout out Waiting. Madonna here, Madonna there. Oh, did you hear the modification in that harmony? Yeah, this is gonna get a solid rating from me. And then the pitter-pattering there. You know, I was like torn between Erotica and Rain. I don't know which one goes where. I feel like I'm giving the edge to Erotica just because of the intimacy in that song and, again, the way it opens up the album. Rain at this point it is also an iconic moment in the record and signals this big change from all the toxicity, all of the issues of old, and now this moment of cleansing. It seems like there's brighter, what is it called? Greener pastures, brighter days ahead. Um, I think it goes there. I think it goes right here. I don't know. Ask me tomorrow, and I probably will switch the rating. It's so close between these two because again, I feel like these two songs, Erotica and Rain, are like the iconic tracks on this record. But I guess that's my feeling. I don't know for real. Like, what is the consensus for the top songs on this one? I guess that's what makes reactions like this fun, huh? Let's keep it going. I have no idea what anybody else thinks. I go into all these reactions, the 2,000 plus reactions, with a full blind most of the time. I mean, the best things are sometimes the hardest. I have a lot of answers to her questions, but I'll try to answer them at the end. Holding on to the pain. Right. I totally resonate with her message. It's a very introspective song. And in a roundabout way, it kind of preaches unity and understanding, self-acceptance, self-love. Because people don't accept themselves is the thing. When you can't accept yourselves, it's impossible to accept others for being different. Because you can't stomach your own incompatibilities. That's the misalignment issue. Oh, this is nice. This part is making me emotional. Where are we going here? Complete deviation? This is good. This is so good. Madonna for songs like this. So needed, you know. And I do not have any tissues near me. Normally I'm prepared, but I was not. We can just love one another, man. I think that's the only correct answer, by the way. There is an objective morality, an objective thing in this world. Love is that thing. I want to talk about this song. The lyrics, man. The lyrics speak to me more than anything. It's a great melody, great beat, but it's the questions. It's the direct to the point. Why is it so hard to love? And I have a million different ways I can answer this one. And I don't know which way my brain is going to take it first, but I think a big contributor to why loving is hard is because our ego is often fighting us. It isn't helping us, it is fighting us. Our ego is leading us down directions that make it harder to love, because why would you love if you have every reason to feel like you're more deserving, or you've been wronged or slighted? And this world will give us infinite reasons to be negative, to feel anxious, to feel fear, to feel like we are the sole person doing things right and everything is against us. And then we ask ourselves, why is it so hard to love? It starts within. It starts right here. If we are incapable of loving ourselves, of accepting who we are at our core, which who we are is a very amorphous thing. It is hard to label who we are. We are constantly changing. We have to love ourselves through every version of that change. If you're unable to stomach that reality, then it becomes extremely hard to love externally, because it feels like such a scarce, limited resource. But love is not a commodity. Love isn't a resource. Love should flow abundantly. You actually have an infinite tap of love within you. It's a matter of just opening the valve. And a lot easier said than done. I try to be as loving as I can all the time, but often I fail. And that's the thing. It is hard to love because so much of the time our ego wants to jump in. It wants to pull us right out of that free-flowing, uninhibited place that we were, the place that you might remember yourself being as a kid early on in your life with limited trauma and experiences. And that's why it's so hard to love, among all the other reasons why it's hard to love, or if you even feel loved, because oftentimes we can be in positions where, no, we are actually being loved, but it's a matter of accepting the fact that we can be loved, rather than not actually having love out there. It's a belief. And similarly, you can think of confirmation bias. This is one of our many biases as humans, but if we have the core belief that we cannot be loved, then everything around us in this world will conspire to make us feel like we aren't being loved. Change the belief. Simple to say, harder to actually implement, but change the belief. Believe that you are lovable. Believe that you are full of love that you can give to others, and then let that reality actually manifest. Then you get some other lines here. What do I have to do to be accepted? What do I have to do to be respected? To look and feel like I'm an equal? What do I have to join to prove I'm worthy? And you know what's interesting is I feel like all of these questions, even though they feel like they're legitimate, and and to some extent they are all coming from a place of ego. To prove I'm worthy, to prove I'm equal. You have innate value. You don't have to prove anything to anybody. So why do you have to look to do anything? You can just exist as you are, as a loving individual. The love will permeate whether or not the external world believes that about you or not. If you have that internal belief and you, again, are aligned with that loving self, there's nothing anybody else can tell you about who you are that you can be convinced otherwise. if somebody said to me, hey, Sohum, you're not a loving person, the weaker version of me would say like, oh man, maybe I'm not. Maybe I am not actually who I think I am. And they've shaken my belief because I wasn't grounded in that true identity of being loving. But don't allow that to be the case. It's again easier said than done, and I'm one to preach because I often suffer from, being highly sensitive to different things. But this is often where it stems from, is the ego. We have some other things here. Why can't we learn to challenge the system without living in pain? And the system, it's oftentimes a very broad kind of word thrown around. Like, what do we mean by the system? Is it the patriarchy? Is it this like government structure that we live in? Is it the welfare state? What is this system? And oftentimes it just simply refers to some general problematic status quo. And the system we need to challenge, it's programmed into all of us. It's this thing that is telling us that we have to exist in fear all the time, that we can't just be loving towards one another all the time. Do we have to be in constant conflict with one another all the time? Why? What's the point? Do we actually like that? Do we care for that? Maybe it feels nice in a moment to be angry and upset and act violently and problematic and yell at somebody else, and then what? Then what? What happens after? I'm going to start ranting now. What else do I want to speak on here? What do I have to learn to know what's right for me? I feel like that is a very important question too, because it's so hard to know, like, what are the things that are for me? Because I'm a loving individual, sure, but sometimes you can let in too much ill will. Like the thing I was mentioning earlier, like sometimes your friends, they can be close, but they could also be throwing daggers your way, and you feel like, oh, I'm shielded anyways, I'm good. But how do I know that that thing is right for me? If it comes easily, if it flows abundantly, it is certainly right for you. And really, it's like a N of one experience. You are the expert in yourself, so you will know best what is for you. And it takes a lot of undoing to know what is for you, because the outside world has told us so much about who we are, what we are, what we should think, what we should believe. Get rid of all of that. You're smart enough. You have the critical thinking skills. You're there, and work on it. Just work on it, bit by bit. And I don't know. It's a journey. It's a hard one to say. I'm still on that journey, so I'll let you know when I end. I yapped a lot. Let's keep it going. Take a shot every time I say, let's keep it going.
Sitting on a park bench, thinking about a friend of mine. He was only 23.
It's like a just chromatic pattern.
Gone before he had his time. It came without a warning. Didn't want his friends to see him cry. He knew the day was dawning, and I didn't have a chance to say goodbye. In this life, I loved you most of all.
Beautiful melody. Like the strings too.
Cause now you're gone and I have to ask myself, what for? What for?
this song about?
Taught me to respect myself. Said that we're all made of flesh and blood. Why should he be treated differently? Should it matter who you choose to love? In this life, I loved you most of
I mean, Madonna is like a massive ally, so I'm assuming she's talking about a gay friend of hers. Shouldn't matter who you choose to love. Ignorance is not bliss. This song definitely takes a different structure too, by the way. This chromatic motif is played throughout, but some of the background instrumentation again feels very cinematic here. A big part of it comes from the strings, but you hear that like bright flute sound. See, that line is throwing me off. I don't know what this song is about.
Some say that life isn't fair.
It's like bad things happen to good people. Is kind of what I'm getting from that.
People just don't care. They'd rather turn the other way. And wait for this thing to go away.
I feel like we've definitely entered the more emotional part of this record.
Why do we have to pretend? Someday I pray it will end.
Someday I pray it will end. What is she referring to? That's an interesting one. I need to figure out what this one means before I can rate it. Because it is about a specific friend. I don't know if the specific person, I guess, matters in this context. I think it's just about this particular story. It seems like this friend is going through something very bad. And now you're gone, and I have to ask myself what for. Like, this good person went through something terrible, didn't want to let others down or make them feel terribly. And they taught me so much about life, about love, and now they're gone, and what was the point of it all? Why do the good people have to suffer? It's kind of how I interpret this one. why do the good people have to suffer the problem of evil, right? Oh man. Let's first rank this one, and then I'll try to talk a little bit about it. In this life, I think it's super solid. I think it's at the top of this one. So I have super solid in this life, where life begins, bad girl, bye bye baby. I think that's okay. I think because the way I interpret it, like I said, is bad thing happening to good person. Makes you think of like all of the ways in which you know something. Okay, how can I word this? Like, you know that the world is unfair, and you know that some things are in your control, others are not, and sometimes it feels like there's more in your control than there actually is, and vice versa. Sometimes you feel like things are out of your control that actually are. So there's that like type 1, type 2 error thing going on. And depends on where you take it philosophically. If you're like a free will or deterministic person about how things can change, can you affect change in this world, in this universe? Is that even a possibility? And if it is, can we change the outcomes for good people to not suffer? And what is suffering? Is it all relative? Who's defining it? Who makes these rules? What is it all for anyways? I feel like all of these like ideas of like existential like identity crises, nihilism can come into this, because there's like a moment where like you believe that the world is all like sunshine and rainbows, and something bad will happen, and that moment will crack and splinter, and you can no longer see this world for what you thought it was with your own naivete. It just becomes very bleak very quickly. And even for a time too, like I became an extremely cynical person. I've gone through all of like the different ups and downs as it relates to like how I think about this world and myself. And I still struggle with figuring out like there's just sometimes terrible things that happen to good people. There's just sometimes innate evil that with our human brains, we don't have the ability to unwind. And like, I truly believe like love is a cure for every evil and peril, but sometimes love isn't given the opportunity to work. You think of all the people who have died who were loving, and the people who were not loving, they continued, they prospered. You see it on the news all the time. Oh man, am I depressing everybody right now? Sorry about that.
What we gonna do after we finish? Yes, sir. What we gonna do after we finish?
Did you do it? So here's like the second to last track, so the penultimate one for the record. Wow.
Tick, tick, tock. Mo was on the jock. I did her in the limo as we went around the block. Sucked the mole on the hip, lift the lipstick off her lip. She got
some
real
like
excited when she started to flip. She says, baby.
Some rap vibes going on.
I said, yo, chill, Mo. We made a right turn north to Central Park West. One hand gripped the thigh, the other on her breast.
Did you do it?
You know I did it.
Did you do it?
You know I did it.
Did you do it?
You know I did it.
I was not expecting this at this point.
Hit it.
Did you do it?
You know what? I'm here for it.
Did you do it?
I said I did it.
Did you do it?
I said I did it. But I backed out quick because I thought I split it.
Oh wow, the callback to waiting.
Holes in the front for the 1990s, walking around showing off their honeys, wiggling, they jiggling, they swinging and flinging.
Like, it's a vibe, but like, does it fit in this album? This is so out of left field.
He's chilling in a pamper and a fur coat, Your head starts spinning, you drink too much gin and your jaw starts grinning. And this is the beginning of a night of an average hoe. It ain't all about
Super
working on the streets
NWA
no more.
vibes.
Here's another episode of dropping off a load. Peter was on the beat, I was about to explode. I couldn't hold back. I took it to a place.
All those like
It's a
fun little
camel suit. I
cadences.
don't try to front, so here's the real scoop. I dipped it in, I slipped it in, I ripped it like before. I had to scream it, no diddly, no more.
No diddly.
I can't stop once I get started. Oh yo, honey, get them legs parted.
So he's sharing his story of doing the deed. I guess Madonna's into it. So he's like serenading Madonna here, or like recounting a story with her.
Did you do it? You know I did it.
Did you do it?
You know I did it. I let the seat recline and I hit it.
Did you do it?
Did you do it as like your boys are asking you like, hey man, did you smash? And then you're like, you know I smashed, man. And a lot of guys, they will lie about this thing too. So it's more of like, it could be either way. Like he could have legitimately done it or not. But I feel like if you have to brag, you probably either A, are a bit of a loser, or B, I didn't actually do it.
You know I did it. But did you do it? You know I did it.
Did you do it?
You know I did it. But I backed out quick because I thought I split it. Oh, my God. We go with the rough stuff, boy. Be hit it, spit it, and forget it. In the same order as your ear. The boy, I'm not front. Me not front to us, boy. Me tell you the truth, you understand the eye. The eye and I
What
can
if-
get
this is like a very
busy,
Jamaican
you know what I'm
accent, right?
saying? Clean up my rifle, clean up my rifle.
I don't know who's singing
Clean up
this.
my elephant rifle. Clean up my rifle, you clean up my
Doesn't show a
rifle.
feature
Clean up
artist
my
for this
rifle,
one.
Elephant rifle. You know you move it slow, you make them
Ah,
tingle, you
incomprehensible,
make them
yes.
tingle. I flip it from the top of my head, enough said. I'm the brother with the short dreads. A couple different styles, a couple different flows. Just some episodes about some girls I know. I gotta hit it hard because I go for the gusto and I cover up the moans by turning up my stereo.
Did you do it?
You know I did it.
Did you do it?
You know I did it.
Did you do it?
This is almost like a full left field song, but it almost serves as a bit of a
Yo,
comic
you know I did
relief
it.
kind of palate
Come on,
cleanser
I said I did it.
Did you do it?
to break up a bit of the heaviness we felt from
I backed
earlier.
that quick because I thought I split it.
You didn't do it. He didn't do it.
I made her go.
Hey man, she just waited.
It's cool.
Keep on waiting.
Yeah, she been waiting and you have not hit it.
I do like the callback to waiting.
Yo, man, you screaming so loud, G. God damn. What's up?
Yo, can we print this mix?
I thought you did that already, man.
You know,
Someone let me know who that was. One thing before we jump into the final track of the record here, I do really like just different styles, like the willingness to draw from other genres and put it into your album very bravely. Second thing I also really like is callbacks to previous songs in the same record. I feel like not enough albums do that, which is very surprising because when you craft an amazing song with great melody, there is good chance that like you may not craft a better melody later on. I'm not saying that as a rule, but like you really caught lightning in a bottle with some melodies, and I feel like repeating them even within your own discography, not even you can extend it past just within the same album, but in other tracks too, I feel like you can just do that. Be as self-referential as possible. It is your own intellectual property after all. But copyright law aside, like sometimes it just serves the song. And even with my own music, like I don't know if you guys know, but like I try to write my own music on the low. At some point I will release it, don't you worry. I will also like think about like, hey, I really loved the melody that I had for song A, and I'm writing song C right now. Maybe I can just like insert a little bit of the melody from song A into song C. Will anybody know if they do it? Will it be kind of cool? Probably. Because I'm like, dude, the melody I came up with in that first song, I love it to bits. I'm gonna keep loving it by putting it in another song, and maybe it's lazy to do that. I don't think so. I think you can pay respect even to yourself, and it works. But really cool that she was referencing waiting there, even if it was for, let's say, comedic purposes in that track. I do think it worked well with the rap. This is the last song, Secret Garden. Damn, I did not realize I've been going for nearing 2 hours here. Y'all must really like Madonna.
In my secret garden,
You and me both.
I'm looking for the perfect flower, waiting for my finest hour. In my secret garden, I still believe after all. I still believe, and I fall. You plant the seed and I'll watch it grow. I wonder when I'll start to show. I wonder if I'll ever know where my place is, where my face is. I know it's in here somewhere. I just wish I knew the color of my hair. I know the answer's hiding somewhere in my secret garden.
It's like, I wish I knew who I was. This melody is so strange. Reminds me of a Massive Attack song. I don't remember which. Paradise Circus or something like that.
To kiss me and undress me. Will I look like a fool, wet and a mess? Will I still be thirsty? Will I pass the test? And if I look for the rainbow, will I see it? Or will it pass right by it? 'Cause I'm not supposed to see.
I'm not understanding what this song is about.
As the blind are never free. Even in my secret garden, there's a chance that I could harden. That's why I'll keep on looking. For a better it isn't torn. My heart will not harden. A place that I can be born. In my secret garden.
It's okay. Last pause. It's like she is looking for that place within herself that she can be completely herself with no judgment, with no restriction, just completely kind of untouched. And it's a secret garden, but oftentimes too, like, it's weird, but like you will be by yourself, but you will still act as though you are with other people, and that is only if you have a facade on. And you have to kind of like retreat to your refuge, just truly be yourself. And that's why you'll oftentimes hear like, man, like after a long day at work, like I just had to come home and just do nothing, recharge, speak to no one, that kind of thing. And sometimes the secret garden is even hidden to ourselves. And we've gotten to a place societally where like, we can't even relax well anymore. People talk about like doom scrolling endlessly. It should have been a form of relaxation, but instead it's like this kind of reverse non-relaxation. It's like a coping mechanism that we think is working and serving us, but really it's just high-level orchestrated addiction. And our garden is tainted. We no longer know the color of our own hair, the petals of our flowers. Do we know that they're torn? Do we not? who knows? We don't even really get to perceive that garden for any extended period of time. And I feel like too, in that secret garden, that truly beautiful refuge-like place, everything about us softens and we return again to that like childlike state that we know is within us all. This loving, curious, insert all of the awesome adjectives. All right, last pause, I promise.
I can be born in my secret garden, a rose without a thorn, a lover without scorn. I still believe. I still believe. 'Cause after all is said and done, I'm still alive. The boots have come and trampled on me, and I'm still alive.
True.
'Cause the sun has kissed me and caressed me, and I'm strong. And there's a chance that I will grow. This I know. So I'm still looking for a petal that isn't torn. A heart that will not harden, a place that I can be born. It's in my secret garden, a rose without a thorn, a lover.
It's weird, this melody, it's kind of ambiguous. I can't tell if it's like
Somewhere in Fontainebleau
more melancholic.
lies my secret garden.
It's a bit ominous, to be honest. Looks like those are the final lyrics. Somewhere in Fontainebleau lies my secret garden. I like what the piano is doing. It's just it's against such a different backdrop. It's almost like they clash, but it somehow works. Wow. There you have it, ladies and gentlemen. That is the entirety of Erotica. We need to rank this final song, and then I'll give my, I guess, full album review. I would go through like my top songs at the end here, but since the ranking is already here, I guess I don't have to do that. Secret Garden. This song, I think I'm just confused because for an album closer, I was expecting something more. Not that this doesn't have personality, but like something maybe more obvious. Maybe that's just the point, is that it's a secret garden. It's not meant to be obvious to anyone other than Madonna. And maybe, again, it's my own issue that I'm not able to understand this one as well. But Secret Garden, for me, I feel like I'm missing out on like the tonal center. The melody is like kind of escaping me. And even some of the interpretation of these lyrics, I'm not having the easiest time figuring this one out. Like, my best stab at it was that inner like refuge within, where you can just be tranquil within yourself, that kind of inner peace. But to me, it is not obvious that that is the answer. Not that there has to be, like with music and art in general, there's always multiple interpretations that are possible. But yeah, with Secret Garden, like I wasn't too encouraged by the melody there. I feel like for an album closer, maybe we could have had something a bit more grandiose or maybe more in line with what we heard towards the beginning. But I do see like the movement of this album, the way that we kind of started in a very erotic place, of course, and then towards something that was more about relationships and toxicity, then into something that was very hopeful and self-aware. And, I think where I land on this record in total, it's a unique one because I feel like Madonna, she's very well known for her beats, very well known for her stage presence, all of her beautiful, pretty melodies. And this album, all things considered, doesn't put a premium on melody the same way other records of hers does. And others, I mean, I've only heard one full record entirely, but other songs of hers that she has, I think this album focused a lot more on rhythm, a lot more on the lyricism, and I have no problems with that. For me, though, I do have a bias towards melody. I will say it's often the case where somebody will like flatly with a monotone voice read out lyrics to me, and even if I've heard those lyrics like 50 times, I may not know where those lyrics come from until I hear them to a melody. In fact, I don't even need lyrics sometimes to be able to pick out the song using the melody. So I feel like for this album, it would be a little bit harder for me to pick out the differences between some of these tracks because the melodies overall are more, let's call it truncated towards the middle. Whatever this kind of like a median feel or average feel of these songs that we're getting does persist throughout, for sure, like the first 3 tracks, and maybe you could chunk it even like with groups of 3 all having kind of similar melodic aesthetics to them. That said, this is also my first pass listening to Erotica, so I probably need more just iterations to have the ability to like identify what's happening where. But there's a lot of interesting, I guess, techniques you could say that were employed in this record that I feel like show up less in some of the other ones. Again, that whole like spoken approach to vocal delivery, I feel like Madonna definitely lent into that quite a bit, at times just completely whispering and conveying her feeling, her subtlety, her control in those different situations. We didn't have many moments of just complete explosion. So, I find that like the peaks of this album are more muted than some of the other Madonna songs I've heard, but a lot of lovely tracks on this record, and I feel like the themes that we had, like I mentioned, were pretty consistent throughout. The idea of like emotional detachment, of sex, power dynamics, like loss, loneliness, and grief, like all of these were well threaded together. I think that is probably like one of my favorite aspects of this album, is that it is so cohesive. And especially like this is a specific comment, but I'll make it because it makes sense for this album. The ordering of these songs was pretty perfect. Like, I love the journey that we went through. I feel like if you were to shuffle through this album, it would not work as well. You could say that this album, I don't know when exactly it came out. Let me look quickly. Erotica PA release. 1992. So that is what, 8 plus 26, 34 years removed from where we are now. I mean, I'm 28, but like over even my lifetime, I've seen the way that topics around relationships and sex and whatever have all kind of opened up in a way where we can finally talk substantively about these important issues. I feel like this album must have been like wildly ahead of its time, just dealing with a lot of non-critical thinkers, a lot of vapid discussions being had, just devoid of any true substance, constantly I'm assuming she was constantly berated for putting things like this out there. And I've even read so many comments across my Madonna reactions mentioning just this, that Madonna is a trailblazer. Everything that she does with so much confidence that, like, even the detractors that are out there, they may say all the things that they'll say, but those words, to reference the album, don't hurt her in the same way, because she has a grander vision. She can see far further than many of our, we'll call it, slower moving folks do. I think also in this record, one thing I can say is that we took away some of the overproduction, some of the highly produced, highly instrumented tracks, and we stripped a lot of that down. So there were a lot of moments where there wasn't too much happening in terms of composition, so I was able to, like, completely wrap my brain around all of the musical elements that were at play. And then it kind of made it easier to pick up on the small layers being added, or the moments of, like, vocal panning and layering that were occurring. So I feel like in terms of listening, for the most part, this whole album was extremely digestible. You could say also provocative, but underneath it all, there is this complete air of vulnerability, and I feel like, again, Madonna knocks it out of the park. But those are just all my thoughts. Please let me know what your thoughts are in the comment section down below. If you made it to this point, please drop a like on the video. It goes a long way. Hopefully others out there will find this and enjoy the Madonna journey just as much as I've been doing. But I'm going to leave it at that. Thank you all for watching. If you'd like to request an album reaction yourself, whether it's more Madonna or really any other artist for that matter, you can do so by using the first link in the description box below to request a reaction, or you can scan the QR code on your screen. But like I said, thank you all for watching. I hope you have a wonderful rest of your day. Take care and peace.